Ballad of the Vineyard, a reflection for the 27th Sunday in Ordinary Time. In today's first reading, the prophet Isaiah gives us an early taste of parable, that story with a twist that Jesus elevates to an art form as he proclaims the reign of God. Isaiah begins, "Let me now sing of my friend's song concerning his vineyard." Friend here can also be translated beloved, and vineyard language has marital overtones throughout the Old Testament. This beguiling invitation draws in the prophet's audience. They settle in for a good yarn, a love story, a sentimental ballad. And so it unfolds. My friend had a vineyard on a fertile hillside. He spaded it, cleared it of stones, and planted the choicest vines. Clearly, the friend spares no expense. Choice vines planted on fertile land represent a significant investment of wealth. In addition, the friend prepares the hillside for planting by spading and clearing, spending precious time and energy to ensure a fruitful outcome. His care does not stop there. He builds a watchtower for protection of this valuable asset. Expecting a tangible return on his investment, he puts in hard labor to hew hard rock into a winepress and gets ready to process the first crop of succulent grapes. Up till this point in the story, the listeners get it. They know what it takes to grow anything on the arid hills of their homeland. You can almost hear them exclaim, "Oh, bad luck," when they hear of the disappointing harvest. Like Jesus, Isaiah speaks to the people in their own language, using the familiar motifs of their precarious agrarian existence to get them right where he wants them. Speaking in the voice of the still mysterious friend, Isaiah now begs the question, what more was there to do for my vineyard that I had not done? The audience can only answer, nothing. Why did it bring forth wild grapes? Who knows? These things happen. The friend now describes his intentions toward the vineyard, the source of his frustration and disappointment. Take away its hedge, give it to grazing, break through its wall, let it be trampled. And these actions seem perfectly justified from the point of view of the listeners. Thoroughly taken in, they do not see the punch line coming. The vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel. Now the whole story reshapes itself into a clear indictment, looking for the good fruit of justice among his people, positive evidence of their commitment to the covenant. The Lord has found instead bloodshed. And just as the vineyard owner will let nature take its course, the Lord will not hold back the consequences of their injustice. Today's responsorial psalm takes its refrain directly from Isaiah and proceeds with verses from Psalm 80. They tell the same sad story and plead for God's protection, promising better behavior in the bargain. Jesus begins his parable with the exact same setup, this time introducing new characters into the story, tenants expected to tend the vineyard and produce good fruit for the owner. The numerous servants abused by the tenants represent prophets like Isaiah, who speak hard truth and suffer for it. Finally comes the Son, who meets not respect, but rejection and murder. Here Jesus speaks of his own passion and death. Interestingly, Jesus aims his parable not at ordinary folk, but at the chief priests and elders, religious elites charged with the care of God's people. Tending instead to their own agendas, they bear the greatest responsibility for unfruitful faith among the people.